It's a simple question in this video that I didn't really think I would ever even be entertaining, but hey, who's the better defenseman? Quinn Hughes or Shea Weber? Now I know this is gonna get a whole bunch of feathers ruffled because I have a boatload of people who are subscribed to this YouTube channel who are from Vancouver and who cheer for the Canucks. I getcha. What's going on, man? I'm from Vancouver myself. Love my Vancouver Canucks. But the second most prominent fan base on this YouTube channel's audience, I guess, is indeed for the Canadiens. What's going on, guys? Bonjour. I am indeed a Habs fan as well. But when I saw Vancouver sports fan on YouTube, his name is David Lewis on Twitter, he posted a poll that he had on his own Instagram page that was getting severely pushed in one direction. And it was a very simple question on his poll. Who's the better defenseman right now? Weber or Hughes? And I saw this, and I was actually dumbfounded, because when he posted the tweet talking about the overall poll, take a look at the numbers right here, man. It was Weber 68% and Hughes 32%. Now, David did say, when I messaged him and I asked him a little bit more about this stuff, hey man, what's going on? He did say that the majority of people voting were Habs fans because he's from Montreal. But you know, as a guy who is both a Canucks and a Habs fan, I think I want to put this out in my own perspective, because when it comes to Hughes versus Weber, who is better, there are a whole bunch of different perspectives that you can talk about. So, firstly, what if we're talking about not today, but in the long-term future? Let's just get this out of the way right now. Pick a defenseman to run your team for the next 10 years. Are you taking Captain Shea? Are you taking Quinn Hughes? You're taking Quinn Hughes. No questions asked. I think everybody can agree with that. You take the younger guy who has so much room to grow over Shea Weber if you're building a team for the next 10 years. But that wasn't the question now, wasn't it? The question was who is better today, which is why the fight in the Instagram poll was a lot more skewed in the other direction. So, let's go over this right away here. Before we get into my own opinions, I want you to comment in the comments below what you think. Who is better today, Weber or Hughes? Who would you rather have on your team? Let's say it's season mode, NHL 21 season mode, and you're only playing for 2020, 2021. You want to win a cup. You want to win immediately, year one. Who do you go with, Hughes or Weber? Let's get into my own opinions here. So, when it comes to the overall stature, yes, Shea Weber is better than Quinn Hughes. Shea Weber is a monster physically. He is big, he's heavy, he is immovable. Quinn Hughes is not that. You can easily shove Quinn Hughes off the puck if you really corner him down and double team him like we saw the Vegas Golden Knights do in the playoff series, this most recent playoffs. If Quinn Hughes played at a time when Shea Weber was breaking into the NHL, Quinn Hughes would have had a tough time because defenders of his stature would not have been given the same amount of space, they wouldn't have been given the same amount of opportunity to show off their mobility, and it just would have been a really tough time if Quinn Hughes made his debut back when Shea Weber made his debut. So physically speaking, yes, Quinn Hughes is at a disadvantage. But when it comes to mobility, this is probably where Quinn Hughes shines. Second most? Maybe the most? I don't know. Second most, we'll say. He is an absolute wizard with the puck on his stick. And when he doesn't have the puck on his stick, his skating is some of the best we have seen in any Vancouver Canucks uniform in the past few decades. He is such a talented skater. His edge work, his overall ability to shift from left to right, his left-right up-down movement, north-south, east-west, he is so good at moving around the ice. And it's why he is so effective in today's NHL, which is so reliant on speed, it's reliant on mobility, it's reliant on puck skills. Quinn Hughes has the footwork of an angel alongside of the puck skills, the dangling skills to make a few guys drop their jaws down into the core of the earth once in a while. Shea Weber does not have that, unfortunately. But where Shea Weber comes back up to life is his overall stability, his maturity in his game, the leadership mentality that he does have, which is very obvious to see, and of course, you know, the fact that he is the captain of the Canadiens and he is honestly kind of getting better with age. Like, I don't really want to say that he's getting worse with age because he's just kind of the same, if not getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more stable. It's a difficult argument to make when you're talking about Hughes and Weber because Hughes is the guy that you put out there in your number one power play to quarterback it. And sure, you could say the same thing about Weber because he has that absolute booming slap shot, but Weber to me isn't in the same capacity of playmaking like a Quinn Hughes has, where he's able to open up space for his defenders, elusively find the open man out in front. Shea Weber is a lot more of a just get the puck to the net, drive it forward, and I don't care what stands in my way, this puck is going to the crease kind of mentality. But Shea Weber to me excels a lot more on the PK than Quinn Hughes would, because Quinn Hughes wasn't even used on the penalty kill this most recent season by the Vancouver Canucks. Shea Weber is a minutes-eating, puck-logging defenseman who can do all of that. So in terms of the two-way capabilities, I would say that Weber probably has a little bit of an advantage there on paper, but to me, it is that offensive ceiling that comes to play, because Quinn Hughes was like legitimately a point-per-game defender in the postseason, and you could say that he wasn't really playing his best. This guy just went absolute beast mode, despite the fact that we still saw him getting held back. And my thought process towards that mentality is, if this guy is just starting out, if he is just at the very beginning of all that's yet to come, even if it's for 2020, 2021, just 1 year removed, I want to see more. I want to see the 60, 65, maybe even a 70-point potential kind of player come out of Quinn Hughes. I want to see a guy whose overall play defines the current NHL that we're in right now. I want to see what Quinn Hughes, after learning everything he had to learn in year one, can come back in year two. And I get that Weber is so valuable, but to me, the upwards potential of a Hughes supersedes that even in the short term. And I get it, you could say, Lego, you're just being biased because he can get points. He's flashy, he's skilled, he can do all that, but you can make an argument that says that Weber as a defenseman is indeed better, and I will not dispute the fact that an argument can indeed be made. It's just that I think the overall potential of a Quinn Hughes, even for next year, is more to me than I would say a Weber's defensive maturity shutdown kind of game is. So yeah, that's my opinion. I know we're 7 minutes in, my goodness, I can't believe it took me that long to explain that, but like, it's just kind of funny, man, especially taking a look at that poll that David put up on his Instagram. Just seeing the discrepancy in the votes, man, going all one way for Weber. I have a different question, though, and this is something that I just thought up on the top of my head here on the fly. Montreal, be very real with me here, okay? If your answer in the comment section below to earlier in the video was Shea Weber, you know, I get that. There's an argument to be made. It was made even on the Instagram post. But my hypothetical situation to Montreal is this. If at the 2018 NHL entry draft, instead of taking Jesperi Kotkaniemi, you took Quinn Hughes. And let's say Quinn Hughes, in his first year in the NHL, played exactly the same as he did with the Vancouver Canucks. He had the same amount of points, same amount of production, same amount of impact. Imagine if that's the case here. Does your answer change? Because I think a lot of the Montreal bias towards Weber in this specific discussion might even just be that bias that may be trickling in at the end of the day because these players are very comparable in terms of value. So what's it going to be? Because Quinn Hughes was up and away the best defender the Vancouver Canucks had ever seen in years, coming into this squad as a first-year rookie, looking towards taking over everything. He did that in the playoffs, and it looks like we haven't even seen a fraction of what is his full capacity. So, that's my question. Is it different if it's Montreal that has Quinn Hughes instead? Quinn Hughes, if I had to describe him to all you Montreal folk who have not seen Quinn Hughes, which you probably should go out there and seek if you haven't, just saying, think Victor Mete. When this guy picks up the puck, for some reason, Mete looks so dangerous every time he picks the puck up and he leads it into the offensive zone himself. But he always loses it. He always ends up throwing it away. He doesn't really have that effectiveness that a Quinn Hughes has when he brings the puck into the zone, because Quinn Hughes has those lethal offensive instincts that make him so dangerous at both ends of the ice. And his breakout ability, his ability to spin past guys and bring it out himself, it is so strong. So, talk to me in the comments what you think about Quinn Hughes and Shea Weber. Who is better today? One or the other. If you had to start out an NHL team, you're in it to win it year one, who do you pick? My pick is Quinn Hughes, but it was brought to my attention that many people would say the contrary, so I want you to tell me in the comments below what your thought process is about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls99. And bye.